innovative business strategies for 2025.
Yeah, so let me touch on that. So there's only really 4 things you can do to like get clients, and that's like the biggest struggle for most people is client acquisition. So essentially turning a stranger to a customer. And the only 4 ways you can do that is through, cold outbound, like, DMing people or emailing people. There's a pretty low leverage activity, but like when you're starting out, you only have time, so you should probably do that. And you can't really do, so that's number 1, cold outreach, and then it's warm outreach, right? And when you're starting out, like with your agency services, you can't necessarily reach out to warm people that's your followers, essentially just your followers, because you can't message your subscribers on YouTube, which I definitely think they should add.
Yo, that would be crazy. Sorry for like,
yeah. You can't really message them because who's gonna, like, your grandmother's not gonna pay $5,000 for your SMMA services, okay? So cold outreach is probably the number 1 thing. And then it's cold, like, ads, essentially, cold ads. And the other one is organic content. That's like warm content, okay? That's people who know you, your subscribers and followers. And also with your YouTube content, everything like that, that's not necessarily going to be your agency clients. Like your agency clients is not necessarily going to watch your YouTube. Like when I started my YouTube, I optimized it from the get-go, like 2 years ago, for the community we're going to build. Even though I didn't even have an agency.
That's manifesting, bro. Like, come on, that is fucking great.
Yeah, like I knew I was going to build the agency and then the community. So I optimized it from the start for the community. Like you'll see, it's not really agency related at all. Or like agency client related, what the services we are offering. And all you can do is really cold outbound. So the things we are implementing is organic content. So like the podcast, that's number 1. We are essentially doing all of it really. Cold ads, we're doing ads as well. And then we've got a setting in place as well, setting in the school community and also through the DMs. We're not doing any cold outreach. So those, we're using 3 out of the 4.
Yeah. And I think the biggest, like we just finished shooting our ads in the VSL and stuff like that yesterday. We haven't gotten that up and running just yet, but we're going to be doing it by the end of Jan or something like that. But I think that's probably going to be the most, like the highest leverage thing. Because essentially, if you get an ad that works, you just throw more money behind it, And also, what we're currently doing right now is we also got the School of Athens, but I just got his personal brand, I got my own personal brand. I think this is very important. Everyone touches on this. Iman, everyone is going all in on this. It's
the one
personal brand. Like that is literally all you need to do. You need to be able, if you're someone that can get attention, people want to sell products, but you need attention to do that. The best known product is better than the best product, okay, to an extent. Obviously, I think with time, the best product will win. But if you can garner attention, you can sell anything. And so the idea is also, we are building our own personal brands, but we are bringing that together to an extent to the School of Athens, wealth and health. We're both passionate about both of them. And I mean, who doesn't want to have both of those things? I think if you look at, what's that guy's name?
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson, he was a freak. Like we watched the video yesterday. That's why I'm thinking of this right now and referencing that. He was an extremely successful businessman. I think he got like 800 mil from, what was that?
He exited his company.
For 800 mil something. And he was super unhealthy. And obviously he's now notorious for being the healthiest guy or trying to reverse his age. And he said, the number 1 thing that you can do for your business is to get in a good shape. Be healthy. And that's the one thing that he focused on. And that's obviously something that we are very, very passionate and very big about is being healthy. So I think, business strategies for 2025 is to get jacked, get healthy, and obviously implementing all the systems we just mentioned. Building our personal brand is very big, staying consistent with the podcast, and then obviously our 2 personal brands, bringing that together, and then building the community is the main focus, of course.
Product is also very important.
Yeah.
So number 4, global retreats. So we are looking to do our first retreat here in Hermanus Onderus, or maybe just Hermanus. This is going to be massive. We've been searching at places on Airbnb, just super cool stuff. Like we got prizes, not prizes, but like gifts planned.
Ooh, it's going to be it's going to be so good. I'm telling you, like I'm so excited for this. I mean, if you just take 2024, we just released a video about probably like a week ago. If you guys are watching this, probably let's just say a week ago, of like the best highlights of 2024 and the one talking about what we learned this year. And part of the most important, the most valuable thing that I took out of last year was the networking aspect of that. Traveling, Bali, Greece, Thailand, Dubai. And we went to 2 of these client retreats and it absolutely changed my life. I'm a very big person on like controlling the controllables, isolating variables, and curating your inputs. And there's no better way to do that than to move to a place with other people with similar goals, maybe even further on the journey than you, with one or two mentors that have already gone over and beyond what you want to achieve, following on their footsteps, observing what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, and literally just copying that. You have no idea how much input is needed for your goal until you see someone that has achieved your goal actually doing the inputs. Because if I had to go back a year ago and then being like, oh, I want to do a podcast and agency and community, I would never have done it if I knew the work that was needed to actually do it. But I was ignorant to that, and there might be benefit to that because obviously knowing what's in front of you can be too daunting and it leads to inaction. But there's so much value in surrounding yourself with people that have either achieved your goal or that's walking that journey with you. And if you're like on a normal, like if you're in Durbanville, like Andrew and I, there's not a lot of people like that. We're the only agency guys in the community. People like, I don't even know of anyone else doing a school community in South Africa, So that's why this online community is so valuable. So we're extremely excited for this. We want to do maybe one every quarter, but the first one we're going to do very soon. We'll keep you guys updated on that. It's only going to be for our paying clients or for the paid community members, and actually just the first one for the founding members. So it's going to be super cool.
I mentioned on my Instagram, this is like a very, very exclusive. So every time I say this is exclusive, one time, I'm not lying. The founding members have exclusive access, not exclusive, but first priority. That's the right word. First priority, best gifts, exclusive gifts. So next time we share something online and saying this is something you want to get into as early as possible, they got a lifetime discount as well. It's just
and that's
amazing.
Crazy. They joined. Can we mention how much they joined for?
No, we can
Probably
keep
not.
that private.
But essentially, they joined, we 5-6x the price compared to when they joined. They had no idea. It was crazy, and I'm so grateful for them as well. They obviously helped us lay the foundation for the business. But in any case, traveling, networking, very important. So
I want to touch on that one when you said about networking and the value of that. I think the biggest value of networking, you don't necessarily see them work hard. Obviously, you see them work hard, but you realize they are not as special. You think when you see them online, there's the separation. Wow, they are this gods, basically. They can do stuff where I can't do. But when you meet them in person, there was this quote where it says, you'll be very disappointed when you meet these millionaires in person because you put them on this pedestal and you've got this high expectation of them. And when you meet them, it's like, what? And then you give yourself permission to really achieve the goals.
It all comes back to that, giving yourself permission. But what does that lead to? Actually, you just taking action. That's literally all it is. You just need to take action. My entire motto for last year was a devotion to excellence. Everything I wanted to do to the best of my abilities. This year, I really just want to focus on execution. I know exactly what I need to do, where I want to go, all these things. I just need to do the thing. And part of all of this, affirmations, visualization, networking, meeting all these people, education, wisdom, reading books, courses, all this stuff is all about helping you and reducing the friction between your current self and your ideal self to take action. That's really all you're doing. And
I definitely think it's knowledge as well. There's only two things you need: knowledge and action, and feedback. That's all you need. But the action gives you knowledge.
Yeah.
So all you really need is knowledge and action. And also
a goal, probably somewhere where you want to go as well.
Yeah, these millionaires and all these high net worth people, they give you knowledge through their videos and everything like that, and then you can take action.
Yeah.
And then obviously feedback. But your subconscious mind, you don't have to really write down this is the feedback I got. Your subconscious mind will be okay, don't do that again, and you will naturally correct course. So action produces information. So all it really is take action, essentially.
That's fucking crazy.
That boils down to that again.
Just take action. Yeah. I think a very good point to mention quickly, because I know we both read a fucking ridiculous amount. Let's say we go through if I see Andrew on the sofa or making food or whatever, he's always has a podcast on or reading something or listening to something. And so a very good point that I had, or question I had for a long time, is how do people listen and stuff and not take notes? How do you do? It's I'm not taking any notes when I'm reading or listening, because what I realized is when I was in the state of reading or listening, but I had to write things down, I was withholding myself from tapping into knowledge and reading and listening because I never had a notebook with me. So then when I was in the car, daytime, when I could have listened to a podcast, I was like, I can't listen to a podcast now because I can't write stuff down, so I'm just not going to listen to one at all. It's like you are withholding yourself from so much more knowledge by not listening to it because you can't write things down. And so just like Andre just said right now, if you just listen to this stuff, it's unconsciously like embedding itself in your brain. And so don't be scared when you're reading a book and you, after the book, you can't really remember what you read. I'm telling you right now, out of nowhere, 5 years down the line, you're going to pull up that quote from Marcus Aurelius and you're going to be like, what? I know this? And you just need to continuously every single day just tap into that. You're not going to see the return on investment immediately, but I think the best thing that I've ever done in my entire life is reading a book a week for an entire year when I was 19. I think it was 19. That changed my entire life because you literally don't know what you don't know. If you knew what we knew, with time, if you took as much action as we did, with time, you would get to where we are, if not further.